And banks that obviously have raised interest rates out of cycle just a little bit have now started to look for new business by cutting rates again. So forget about problems with interest rates. So what else drives our housing markets? Well, of course, people. More, more houses, higher prices. And that's been one of the significant factors in the Sydney market. It's not just lower interest rates, it's more people. And over the last 2 years, migration rates in Sydney have been at record levels. Now, even though net migration has fallen away recently, it's still at around about record levels. And this is, of course, something that drives demand for housing, and it's likely to continue because the most significant driver of our economy, and that's what was announced in the budget this year, has been migration and migrants creating hundreds of thousands of new jobs. And of course, that has meant higher tax receipts, which has meant the government's been able to pay down the debt. Maybe we'll get rid of that deficit and also give us some tax relief. So the government has committed, even though numbers have tracked back recently, to continued strong migration. And Sydney is a key destination for migrants. That means demand from outside the basin will continue to grow over the medium to longer term. And that, of course, is another significant factor of demand pushing into housing markets. Now, a year ago, if you remember, with those crazy growth numbers in Sydney house prices, of course, government's got into this Affordability Act. And we did have, at that point of time, 18 months ago, 12 months ago, very low numbers of first home buyers. And of course, the real measure of affordability is how many first home buyers you've got in the marketplace. Now, a year ago, we had the lowest proportion of first home buyer activity we ever had on record in New South Wales. Along came the New South Wales government, big tick, and they decided to cut stamp duty for first home buyers, for purchases up to $650,000. Well, no surprise, we've seen a wave of first home buyer activity since then. In fact, we've seen an extra 12,000 first home buyers in New South Wales over the past year compared to the year before. And we've got to celebrate that. This is the great Australian dream being realised. Now, even though the proportion of first home buyers in the marketplace is still a percent or so below the long-term average, it's a lot closer to that average than it's been for a number of years. And of course, it's no surprise that it'll always be a tough ask for Sydney-siders to get their first home because this is the most expensive market in the country. And but there's no stopping first home buyers. They don't worry about issues of confidence about market activity and dynamics. They'll get in to realise that great Australian dream as soon as possible. And of course, that's a key demand driver, the first home buyer.